Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a prime example of the NFL, NBA, MLB scripting. Guys, again, I keep saying these games are not real. These players are in on it, these coaches are in on it, all the staff is in on it. Have you guys ever wonder why there's so many coaches and offensive coordinators up in the booth with headsets? Because they get their calls from Vegas and they get their calls from New York, the head office, and tell these guys which plays to run at what time to run them. These games are absolutely rigged and absolutely scripted. I don't watch football. I don't watch NBA, don't watch MLB, but when I do happen to catch a game, or I do happen to kind of look at ESPN and kind of see what's going on, even I can tell that it's scripted and that it's rigged, guys. I mean, the games are getting really bad. I mean, if you look at who's scoring the touchdowns in these games, like if you play fantasy, because this is all scripted and rigged for fantasy football, for DraftKings, for Vegas, and then the Super Bowl winner is already predetermined. That's why you have certain quarterbacks or certain players who have a really good year one year and then the next year they suck. Cam Newton before he went to Super Bowl 50 had a phenomenal year, right? Well, wow, where did that come from? This guy was making plays with his throwing the ball, running the ball, and all of a sudden the next year he didn't even make the playoffs. They probably went, I think, 4 and I don't know. They didn't even make the playoffs. They had a losing record the next year, and even this year the same thing. The real athletes, the real people. I heard a guy once say, if the NFL was real, then Michael Vick would have won like 5 or 6 Super Bowls if the NFL was real. But they're not going to let the players who are really good and really skilled, they're not going to let these guys win. Let's take, for instance, the quarterback situation. Let's look at the quarterback situation. You have Carson Wentz, who came out of nowhere, who's having a phenomenal year. Nobody can hit this guy. Nobody can sack this guy. Tom Brady, nobody can sack this guy. I rarely ever see this guy get sacked. And for people who to believe that their offensive line is better than every defense out there, you got to be kidding me. Okay, this guy doesn't get touched because he's the NFL's breadwinner, just like Michael Jordan was the face of the NBA. Tom Brady is still the face of football. He puts butts in seats. People watch him. Let's just take, for instance, yesterday's quarterbacks. Drew Brees had a good day, right? He had a decent day, and Drew Brees is one of the premier quarterbacks. But how many Super Bowls does he have? He has 1 Super Bowl win, but when he should have multiple. All the rest of these guys shouldn't have. Ben Roethlisberger has 2 Super Bowls. Ben Roethlisberger was never a great quarterback to me, ever. You telling me Ben Roethlisberger was better than Jamarcus Russell? He was better than Vince Young. He was better than Michael Vick. He was better than Donovan McNabb. He was better than, and I'm naming all the black quarterbacks because I'm just keeping it real. It's not about making this about race. It's not about being racist, but it's about being real. The athlete. Majority of the athletes are black, but majority of the quarterbacks and the coaches are white, right? Eli Manning is having a horrible year this year, right? But this guy's got 2 Super Bowls under his belt. Why? This guy is a horrible quarterback and has been a horrible quarterback since day one. Same with Peyton Manning. You got to be kidding me, guys. You guys have to absolutely wake up, and you guys have to absolutely see the deception of the NFL, the NBA, and every professional sports out there. It's fake. It's WWE. It's entertaining. Like I said, if it entertains you, then watch it. But it's fake. It's no different than a TV show, movie, or script. I don't follow football that much, but when I do catch a glimpse, like, Alex Smith and his team's having a pretty decent year this year. Most everybody who's been beating up on the New York Giants the quarterbacks have done pretty good with the New York Giants, right? Especially when you have good role players, and you could say Kansas City has really good role players. You have a premier running back, you have premier receiver, you have a premier tight end. Your quarterback's okay. He's having a decent year. Why? Because that's how they have it scripted. But you're telling me you can't get the ball to Kareem Hunt? You telling me you can't get the ball to Tyreek Hill? You telling me you can't get the ball to Travis Kelce? You telling me your kicker can only score against the New York Giants, guys? Guys, you guys have to absolutely wake up and smell the coffee beans. You go down this list and see who had a phenomenal game yesterday. Blaine Gabbert did better than Alex Smith. And I'm not an Alex Smith fan. I don't have a favorite team. I don't have, that's not what I do, you know. Let's look at running backs. The running backs were a real joke. I mean, if you guys can't see what's going on, the hot news right now is Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Okay, they come out of the woodwork. You can say they're pretty premier. You know, they have to throw LaShawn McCoy up there with the Los Angeles Chargers, right? But just last week, Leonard Fournette couldn't do nothing against the Chargers. But LaShawn McCoy does this week, right? LaShawn McCoy couldn't do nothing against the New York Jets last week. And all of a sudden against, he's having a better, it's unbelievable how stuff is scripted. Latavius Murray, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Doanto Foreman is scoring touchdowns. Latavius Murray scoring touchdowns. Samaje Perine is scoring touchdowns. Okay, you have Robert Kelly. I think Chris Thompson was out, but you have Robert Kelly, and you got some Samaje Perine scoring touchdown. Le'Veon Bell was a joke on Thursday night. Deion Lewis, had a good game because he ran back a kickoff against Denver in the Monday night game, guys, or the Sunday night game last week. Are you kidding me? You cannot tell me the NFL and the NBA is not scripted. Let's look at Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette. They didn't do anything yesterday, right? These are your star players. These are the guys you play the money to. But yeah, week in and week out, they have a good week and they have a bad week. And if you go look at the stat lines, these guys are not even getting the ball. These guys are not getting the ball. 10 carries, 15 carries. The second strings are scoring all the touchdowns. You look at last night's game, Philadelphia against Dallas. Who scored the first touchdown for Philadelphia? Kenyon Barner. This guy's the fourth string running back. They don't even use him. And he scores a touchdown. You just got Jay Ajayi. You've had LeGarrette Blount, who has experience, but yet your fourth string is scoring a touchdown. Your third string is scoring most of the touchdown. That's crazy. And then they have a fake injury with their kicker. So now they're scoring 2 points. Now you telling me the defense they're playing, the Dallas can't stop 2-point conversions? They're just having 2-point conversions after 2-point conversions. I'm sitting here laughing in my head, saying to myself, like, wow, guys, you guys lost your mind. And you see the symbol at the top there because I decided to go and really do research and play FanDuel for the first time. I decided to play FanDuel and say, okay, I'm going to go off matchups and I'm going to go off who's been having a great season in and out, and I'm going to go from there. But no, let's look at wide receivers. And Antonio Brown is one of the hottest receivers in the NFL right now, right? He's supposed to be. He's hot and cold. He'll have a good week. And then next week, Juju Smith-Schuster is having a good week. And yet they haven't even got the ball to Martavius Bryant yet. But in those times, Le'Veon Bell barely is getting the ball. It just, you guys have to wake up and put the beer down and open your eyes and know that the NFL is fake. Keenan Allen, he had a great day against Buffalo yesterday, but last week the New York Jets couldn't put up anything against them. I believe they played, or somebody, Keenan Allen hasn't done anything all season with Phillip Rivers, and all of a sudden he has a great day yesterday. Kenny Stills, the third. Look who's scoring the touchdowns, guys. The only thing that makes sense is Brandon Cooks, right? But he's hot and cold. Why? Because Tom Brady doesn't throw the ball to the black guys. You know this. We all know this. Like, again, I'm not trying to make it this about race, but Tom Brady doesn't throw the ball to the black guys. He throws the ball to Chris Hogan. He throws the ball to Rob Gronkowski. He throws the ball to Danny Amendola. He does not throw the ball to Brandon Cooks. Trust me when I say this, He throws the ball to Rex. And I get it. They have a different system. They play certain running backs on certain things in certain corners. But Rex Burkhead, where the fuck this guy come from? This guy's scoring touchdowns, right? When you have a Dion Lewis and you have a James White and you have a Mike Gillislee, but yet Rex Burkhead's in there scoring all the touchdowns, right? Come on, that's just Boston for you. That's just Robert Kraft for you guys, Think about it. I'm not even going to make that about a race thing, but think about it. Just honestly think about it. Tom Brady's got 5 Super Bowls, right? Nobody can hit this guy. This guy's just that good. That's crazy. That's crazy. Larry Fitzgerald doesn't have a quarterback. He's scoring touchdowns with the third string quarterback, right? You can see Danny Amendola's up there. Kenny Stills had a better day than Jarvis Landry. Okay. It's absolutely, I don't even want to get started on the kickers, and these guys all fake injuries. There's just so many fake injuries out there. Between last week, Richard Sherman going down with a fake injury, Keenan Allen last year or the year before going down with a fake injury. Doesn't matter whether these guys fake an injury or not. They still get paid. Doesn't matter whether they lose a game or not. They still get paid regardless. These players don't care. These players are into making money. These owners are into making money, guys. You guys have to absolutely wake up. I'm going to do a follow-up video because tonight's game, you'll see. Just tonight's game, Monday Night Football, just see who's scoring the touchdowns. Your star players are not going to be scoring touchdowns. It's going to be the third string and the fourth string because it's all rigged for Vegas, FanDuel, DraftKings, all the fantasy leagues. Crazy.